Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. We're discussing some Steelers news and updates, of course. As you guys seen probably from the title, Jaxson Dart is scheduled to visit with the Steelers. I think he visited a lot of teams, but Steelers are on his list to visit as well. So that's very interesting to see what happens with that. On the Steelers love Jalen Moreau, they love Jaxson Dart. Some of the quarterbacks, Will Howard, they like him too as well. But I think Jaxson Dart and Jalen Moreau are a little higher on their list. You know, the production in college was higher than those guys, than him as well. But they're a little higher on the list for their like want to bring in and stuff like that. So we'll see exactly what happens. So Jaxson Dart is a pretty good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Has a lot of potential. Jalen Moreau, same thing, a lot of potential as well. For those guys, just need the right system, right scheme, especially coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have Dickie McCaff and George Pickens, Pat Fryermuth, Darnell Washington. The O-line will be pretty solid as well. And we'll see what running back the Steelers draft, whether it's Cam Scatterbo. I did draft him yesterday on my mock draft on my other channel, the Arsenal D.B channel. You can go watch that if you like. But I drafted Cam Scatterbo in the second round via trade. I traded up. I traded to get a second round pick from the Eagles like that. So yeah, the Steelers might do that. Possibility they do that. Probably trade, get a second round pick to add more weapons on that side of the ball like that. And give me a bring a running back in, and of course to get a quarterback with a second round pick maybe. We'll see exactly what goes on, of course, because Jalen Moreau, he could be a guy available in the third round. Jaxson Dart could be available in the second round, maybe third round. You never know. Sometimes people value his quarterbacks very high. I remember that one year when they had Malik Willis, and we thought he was gonna be a first rounder. The Steelers kind of reached on Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett probably could have fell to the second round or something like that, or maybe third round. I think Malik Willis fell all the way to the fourth round like that. So sometimes teams value quarterbacks higher, sometimes in a sense. But I feel like these guys are a little higher threshold than what Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis was. They're kind of a little miles better in this situation. I know a lot of people kind of compare, say, oh, this Jaxson Dart and Jalen Moreau thing is kind of like Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. I'm like, no. The only thing that's comparable is their race. Nothing else is comparable. Look at the numbers of Jaxson Dart and look at the numbers of Kenny Pickett. Look at the numbers of Jalen Moreau and look at the numbers of Malik Willis, and you'll see the complete difference that they're miles and miles better than these guys. Malik Willis, you know, his years in college, his first what's the name years, he threw 45 touchdowns. Oh, he had one touchdown his first year. He didn't really play too much the second year in Auburn. When we got to Liberty, that's when he started playing. He threw 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions at Liberty the first year. He threw 27 touchdowns to 12 interceptions the following year at Liberty as well. And then you look at Jalen Moreau. Jalen Moreau, he played phenomenal. Now if I count the rushing numbers too, I can count the rushing numbers as well. Malik Willis did run the ball solidly, pretty good, 944 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns, 878 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. When you look at Jalen Moreau numbers at Alabama, you know, the numbers are higher. The numbers are higher in the passing regard and everything like that. So you have 23 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Their interception touchdown ratio right there, his first year starting there, and then 16 to 11 last year, having a down year, of course, but still putting up 12 rushing touchdowns that one year, then 20 rushing touchdowns last year, which is crazy. So you kind of look at that, and you look at the threshold of competition as well, being in Alabama, being Liberty. Yeah, I think Jalen Moreau is a little higher threshold than Malik Willis. Malik Willis has played better though, of course. You know, his last year with the Packers and stuff, but I don't see the comparison fully. I think Jalen Moreau, from when he played at Alabama and the level of competition he played at versus Liberty, I think it's on a different threshold. Kenny Pickett only had one good year in college. People try to boost him a little bit. I was still surprised when the Steelers took Kenny Pickett. He threw 42 touchdowns, yes, 4,000 yards, 67 completion percentages senior year. But besides that, every other year was 13-9, 13-9, 12-6 touchdown interception ratio. Nothing really too spectacular to run home about. And you look at Jaxson Dart, every year he has gotten better. You look at his numbers, completion percentage 62%, his first year starting, following year 65, and then last year 69%. He threw 20 touchdowns his first year to 11 interceptions, and then following year after 23 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and then his last year 29 touchdowns to 6 interceptions with a career high in 4,279 passing yards as well. And also being solid on the ground too as well, rushing for 8 touchdowns his junior year and 3 rushing touchdowns his last year. So I feel like the comparison is not really like that fully. I feel like these guys right here he played at Ole Miss and he played at Alabama, a little higher threshold. I'm not saying that what they did at Liberty and Pittsburgh was in high threshold, but unlike playing for Alabama and playing for Ole Miss, playing in a higher level of competition a little bit in college, I think it's a little bit more daunting. And looking at the stats and numbers and pro level style offenses, I feel like it's a little better than looking at what we saw from Pickett and Malik Willis. So I don't feel like the comparison is not even the same. I saw that on Twitter. I was like, the comparison is not even the same. But Jaxson Dart will be a solid get. I mentioned before, I'll take a Jaxson Dart. I'll take a Jalen Moreau, one of those guys to bring in. Not in first round, not first round. Maybe like second round, yes. for Jaxson Dart. Dylan Moreau, second round, maybe. Depends on who was all available. If we got a top tier running back we can get, take the running back first. But third round, most definitely for Dylan Moreau. Maybe second round, of course, like I mentioned, but we'll see exactly what happens. I also want to talk about the compensatory pick I think the Steelers supposed to get for Russell Wilson. I think the pick was originally labeled to be a third round pick. They said the Steelers could get for Russell Wilson. I guess he played a certain amount of snaps or something. But based off his contract with the Giants, it kind of like dropped down. They said it might be maybe a fourth at best case scenario, but probably like a fifth round pick the Steelers can probably get. You know, Russell Wilson signed a 1-year deal, and then he went somewhere else. Justin Fields, I think we get something for him as well too. I gotta look more into that. Those pick things be always very confusing. They have where like this guy signs a contract that's worth $20 million. If he plays 70% of the snaps, then he'd get a pick. The team that he played with previous only had him for 1 year, therefore giving him a pick because then he can get the re-sign rights or something like that. It's like, they have like there's a lot of different things that we having for those little contracts and stuff. So I have to see what it is exactly, but that'd be great. The more picks, the better. The more picks, the better. The better we can get stuff, especially next year. Like I'm still holding off hope. Still holding off hope for Kyler Murray trade next year. The Cardinals have another down year. They had a bad free agency so far, but they had another down year. And they don't make the playoffs again. I think Kyler Murray made the playoffs one time, I think. So they don't make the playoffs again. Kyler Murray is 28, 29, I think 28 years old, but turned 29. And like looking at the team like, hey, my world is to start over, start over. See some things happen. The Steelers could possibly be a team that be in play for it. And we'll bring Kyler Murray in like that. Now if you're a young quarterback, who you draft for, if everything goes well, that'd be cool, of course. You ain't gotta do that. But if it doesn't go well, a guy like Kyler Murray could be available next year. I'm still holding off hope for that. I know it's a long, like dark horse type of fetch, but I think the Steelers could possibly make that happen. So we'll see exactly what happens. Keep monitoring the stuff throughout the year. Probably a little while from now with the wait after the season and stuff. But I'm very pumped up. The draft is in like 3 weeks. We're gonna see exactly what the Steelers do. It's gonna be D lineman, quarterback, D lineman, or D lineman. Maybe running back, D lineman, or D lineman, quarterback, D lineman, running back, or running back, D lineman. You never know what could happen. They could maybe take Ashton Jeanty in the first round. You never know. Look at what goes on like that with the way the GMs are looking. They're trying to overload the offense to get the offense boosted up so the team be ready to compete with some of the best offenses in this conference, with the Chiefs, with the Bills, all the Chargers. They got better too. Add Najee Harris. You look at the Broncos offense as well. Like all the different offenses in the AFC, we're getting better and better, adding those pieces and building that team up. The Ravens, the Bengals and stuff. The Bengals defense might be bad, but they have the juggernauts on offense and stuff. So we'll see exactly what happens. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.